Hey everyone, One Spittin' here. So I'm doing a new type of video now, what I'm calling studio updates. I get questions periodically on individual battle reports about, uh, what's the status of certain armies and why am I not playing one army more than another, or why am I, why do I like certain builds or certain units? So I thought what I might do is periodically do a studio update and just kind of talk about the status of things. So if you're looking for a battle report, that's not what this is, and I understand if you don't want to watch it. But if you are interested in kind of my thinking behind my current army, or maybe the progress of that army, that's what this is. So I've been working on Empire lately. It's an army I've always wanted to have. I think it's going to be an army that is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger for me. I'll probably play it, for years and years and years, and it's going to be huge eventually. Because like some other armies, like orcs and goblins, there's just so many different types of things you can do with this army. Unlike, let's say, Beastmen or Bretonia, where there's really only so much there is there. So I can see over time this collection just getting absolutely out of control. So as of October 2012, this what you're looking at here is pretty much the extent of what I have now that's already assembled. I have some things that are still on sprues, but this is the bulk of it. Really, the centerpiece of this army are my great swords. I think they're just some of the most beautiful models that Games Workshop has made. I absolutely love them, and I think I'm a good painter. I know I'm not a fantastic painter. I think these models make my painting level look better than it probably is. Now this is a close-up shot, so even now you can obviously see mistakes and you can see my inadequacies as a painter, but for the most part, especially at tabletop level, this unit is absolutely beautiful. I think some people don't like them because they're kind of expensive points wise, but I don't know, I see a lot of use for them. I am especially excited in the future about having maybe 2 units of 20 swordsmen as their detachments. The swordsmen will be, of course, stubborn, and then if I have characters in here giving hatred, or I would assume hold the line would also apply, that those detachments could just be crazy good and very, very useful. So yeah, so this is the centerpiece of my army. It's fully done. You notice the basing I'm doing with the whole army is really just a few different kinds of flock, and that's it. What I'd like to do over time is I like to model trophies, little bits based on things that happen in games, especially tournament games. And so I decided just to leave the base relatively simple, and then over time you'll see little things modeled on there based on their performance and weird things that happen. One thing I'll take some advice on, I'm not sure what to do about, is their standard. I think I'm going to use that style of standard with all my units. I'd really like the idea of some kind of insignia in the middle of it, something in black, or maybe white background with black. But I am not a freehand artist, and anything I try to paint is going to look awful. And so I just really don't know what to do, and I'd rather it be simple and elegant rather than trying for more than what I can do. So here's some handgunners. I painted these up to test my paint scheme. One thing I'm thinking is every type of unit will use colors differently. So even though red and yellow are the dominant colors, you'll notice the great swords had red and yellow on the stripes of their shirt interchangeably, whereas this unit, the shirt's all yellow and the pants are all red. And you'll notice other units have different things too, but I didn't want every unit looking exactly the same. I like how they're painted. I don't love how they're painted. I like how they play. I don't love how they play. So you'll probably see these from time to time, but not in every build I do. I don't absolutely love handgunners. This one I just finished painting yesterday. I had a day where I just really didn't have a whole lot going on. I was watching college football, painting all day. It was very, very nice. I don't expect to have another day like that for at least another month. So I spent the day finishing up the steam tank. Just, after painting just hordes of rank and file troops, it was nice to have one model that I could just take some time and try to do some detail with. I like how it turned out. Again, I say it all the time. I'm a good painter. I don't have any qualms about being better than that. I think the steam tank represents my level of skill. I think I did a good job for me. I can't do better. This is as good as I got. But I think it turned out well. I think it's pretty on the tabletop. It's kind of a cool model. Now, in terms of gameplay, I love the Steam Tank. The Steam Tank is the perfect kind of unit for me because it has multiple uses. It's got that cannon, which a lot of times cannons only really help you in the first turn or two, and then once you're in combat, they lose their usefulness. And that's all I need for the Steam Tank. The first turn or two of shooting, and it's very, very useful. Then you get them in combat, and I love having this available so when somebody shows up with some unit that I've got nothing to deal with, some kind of Death Star, as long as it's not with too many attacks, rerolling to hit strength 6 or better, as long as it's nothing crazy like that, I can have the Steam Tank just to throw at them, and I'm going to hold them up for a while. I'm unbreakable, 10 wounds, toughness 6 with a 1-up armor save. Good luck trying to take this thing out. And if you do, it's going to take you long enough that I can just ignore that unit and move on. So I absolutely love it. You'll probably see me fielding a Steam Tank in almost every list. It's one of the reasons why I started an Empire Army. I actually bought this model 2 or 3 years ago just because I wanted to paint it. And so it's nice to finally have done. You know, I really didn't think I was going to like Knights with this army. I have Bretonnian. If I want to play Knights, I'll play my Bretonnian army. But I have the models. I might as well paint them. And then I saw a list online where it had, I modified it, but using 8 or 9 inner circle knights with 1 or 2 characters, especially when one of them's a warrior priest giving rerolls. Strength 6 with rerolls is no joke. This unit is BA. Obviously, I haven't had a chance to paint them yet. This one horse is 90% done, so it represents what they're going to look like eventually. I don't really love the fluff, how there's knightly orders, if that's going to make the color scheme different than the rest of the army. I like to have a very consistent look with my Empire army, and so I'm trying to keep consistent with that look here. I'm not sure how I'm going to paint the knights yet, and I'm not sure when I'm going to get to it. But this one horse gives you a feel for how that unit is going to look. And characters as I have right now are these. Let's see, starting with the warrior priest, I think this is one of the best models I have. I love this model. I love how the painting turned out. Again, for the skill that I have, this is about as good as it gets. I think it just looks tough. And given a unit rerolling to hit is pretty cool, especially with a unit like Great Swords. It's big enough, I'm going to get a lot of attacks back, high strength. I like them with halberdiers. Now their weapon skill 3 doesn't matter as much because they can reroll, and that's kind of nice. This model I absolutely love the fluff of, and I love the model. The painting's only half done. He's not even completely base painted yet, so he's not going to look exactly like this. So his hat will be black and different things, But I think it's going to look good. This is one where I say hats off to Games Workshop for designing a beautiful model, and shame on them for doing it fine cast and having bad results. I spent hours and hours with green stuff trying to fix this thing because of the shoddy work that was in the fine cast. It was awful. But it's fun. I think he's very situational, but he's not so many points that I think it's okay. So you put him in your list, and if the situation doesn't need him, you've wasted a few points. But he's just fluff wise, I think it's just awesome. Here's another warrior priest. I don't know if I'm going to use 2 in very many lists, and I don't like this model as well as the other one. I've been using him when I needed a battle standard bearer on foot. I just throw a banner on him and just let him be that. So whatever. My mounted characters, the model on the right is a warrior priest mounted. I actually don't love that model, but it's okay and it's what I have. So he's the one I put in the knight unit right now. There's my battle standard bearer mounted. It works as long as I'm using the inner circle knights, but in all honesty, I'd rather have him on foot. I wish I'd modeled him a couple years ago. I wish I would have put him on foot. I'll probably buy something else in the near future, so I have that option. I think that should be a fun model to paint, though. And then on the left, I never considered taking a captain on a Pegasus, but after seeing someone online suggest him and then using it in 1 or 2 games, I'm a fan. Very versatile, relatively few points. He can assassinate wizards, he can go after war machines, he can chase down units, get behind lines. Just really, really like the versatility that he gives. And I'm going to start calling these my soul crushers because painting them is crushing my soul. I feel like I've been working on them forever. They're almost base painted. Oh my gosh. And actually yesterday morning before I painted the steam tank, they got them to the point where they're almost base painted. And then I looked and there were so many places where the arms didn't fit on well that I had to go back through them all with liquid green stuff and just fix them. And so now I've got to go back through and repaint a lot of them. It is soul crushing. I like having them in here. I would use them now as 2 units of 20 as detachments for my great swords, except that I need the points in core. So I think I'll have these guys as my core unit, and then over time you'll probably see me fielding swordsmen about this many, and then one either this unit or the swordsman I'll break into two detachments. Yeah, but for now this is how I'm using them. And when I first thought of taking Empire, I loved Outriders. I kind of like the fluff of them. I tend to see them more as kind of fulfilling the role that the U.S. Army Rangers play. They deploy behind enemy lines, acting as reconnaissance scouts. They can live off the land, but yet they're deadly. So I like the look of not they have some of the unit colors, but for the most part they look like they are capable of taking care of themselves, living off the land. So I got these models and adapted them, and I like that. This one you're looking at here is not done. He's not fully painted yet, but yeah, you see all the painting that I'm trying to do. So I just haven't got to them yet. So these are obviously the Outriders are up there. I've got the Celestial Hurricanum. I've been careful in modeling that so I can also tweak it around and use it as the Luminarch. That seems kind of cool, kind of different. I don't know if it's worth its points yet or not, but I have seen that Celestial Hurricanum with my great swords, giving them +1 to hit, just absolutely destroy units. So it's kind of fun. I don't like the spell that it gives. I do like the Luminarch spell, but whatever. I got a couple cannons. I hate the way they look. I'll be repainting them. And lately, I've actually I've been gluing together some of the archers there at the bottom. I've got a few more to do. Yeah, it's just yet another thing. So you can see the color scheme that I'm going for here is mainly red and yellow, and then with black and white. And I try to be consistent and not use a lot of colors besides that, with the occasional metal, of course, silver and other metals. But for the most part, you can see I'm trying to be consistent with the army and yet not have everything look like it's exactly the same thing. So I think it gives a good look. I kind of modeling it after kind of a medieval Spain sort of look, which I just think is great. So that's it. This is the status where everything's at. You can tell, I tell with my own tone when I talk about the Halberdiers being soul crushing. There's just so many models to paint. I'm so picky about it, and I want the army to look good, so I'm trying to take my time. And then, life gets busy and I don't have the time to paint as much as I would like. So I think it's going to be a slow work in progress, but as I get things painted, I'll put them up here and so you can see how it is. Anyway, that's it for this first studio update. Hope you enjoyed it.